Is it possible to declare the majority of people in the country second-class people? Take a try, but I don't think people around will be happy after that. Can the government publicly say from their offices, the majority of you disenfranchised scum? No, you would say, how would they do that? After all, they will be overthrown the next day. However, this is happening right now. Let's see the latest government survey. They say to us, rating beyond Russia has updated its minimum for the last 13 years. 32%. It means that 68% of the people want an alternative. They're all different. Left-wing, right-wing, liberals, nationalists. But they all say, we don't want to vote for any candidate from United Russia. Choose something different. And right now, Putin's abandoning and United Russia. Answer to all these people. No! You will never choose something different. You are the second-class people. So there won't be any different candidates you can vote for. It's not even said, it's already done. There will be the elections on 8th of September, but all I wanna say according to Petersburg, Moscow, Irkutsk, Ufa and many different regions, but here in Moscow were 45 seats, were several dozen candidates. All of them were taking signatures and all of you know that, because I've been harassing you on this channel with these signatures.
Я на этом канале вас просто доставал со своими призывами отдать свою подпись за этих кандидатов.
Everyone of these candidates needs your signature to make them able to participate in the elections. You have to coordinate and you have to vote the same way. Support independent candidates and require a registration in all cities. We will only win when we will reach this, and no one has been registered. All of them were removed from the elections. They were very strong candidates who would have 100% won, like Yashin or Sobol. There was also good but not that strong candidates, and they had to fight for their victory. There was very bad candidates that I would never vote for, because they're cowards and thieves, but nobody likes them. But all of them were demolished. They told us that we are second-class people. The procedure for your withdrawal has become a procedure of humiliation. The real people were declared dead or non-exist. Have a look. There are lots of videos where people say that they're real and their signatures are real. What the hell?
Какого черта мою подпись признали недействительной?
Я ставил подпись за Соболь, оставил подпись и дату в поддержку Любовь Соболь.
Я, Литвин Павел Арнольдович, узнал, что моя подпись в поддержку Ильи Яшина признана недействительной. Это не соответствует действительности. И дату, и подпись я ставил сам.
И дату, и подпись я поставила своей рукой. Причем сборщиком был сам Илья Яшин.
Добрый день, я Александрова Елена Эдуардовна. Подтверждаю, что я сама ставила подпись за кандидата в депутаты Ивана Жданова.
Sudan's majority has employed some kind of thieves. They call themselves as graphologist. They just were taking 500 signatures and declared them fake. The degree of infinity you can estimate by one small fact. Here is candidate Yashin. He gave his own signature for the other candidate Gudkov. Even the signatures of Yashin was declared as fake. The same Yashin. He brought in dozens of people whose signatures were invalidated. The real physical man, here they are, and he also brought 140 applications to the people who wrote. Do not dare to recognize our signature and believe, we put it. And what do you think they say with smiling on their faces? We're not interested in those people who are there, and we're not interested in their applications. We have the graphologist, we have a police base. If they say that these people are not real, then these people are not real. Meeting of the commission on which the election was suspended from Любовь Собol. It was live and viewed by 50,000 of men, more than any live translation, because it looked like a show. There are some crazy woman who is the chairman of the commission, announced a minute of silence for some dead people who have supposedly signed up for Sobol.
И сегодня я хочу, можете не вставать, но почтить минутой молчания этого...
I'm sorry, the meeting is better than warmonger you're having here. These scoundrels still dares against Sobol when they declared invalid the sentences that put actor Shirvint, the professor of MSU Lukyanova, journalist Azar, all these people say what's happening. We exist and we signed. We wrote the application.
Я, Азар Илья Вильямович, прописан в районе Хамовники, и я, находясь в здравом уме и твердой памяти, собственноручно внес дату и подпись в поддержку выдвижения Любови Соболь на выборах в Московскую городскую думу по 43-му округу.
But not. We're all second-class people. That's why Sobol was taken out the elections. To further mock us, they say that the senators of Sobol are that bad, that she has more invalid senators than spiders. From corrosion of metal.
Москвы мы повесим новое солнце. Вот, это будет как громадный циклопический шар, в котором будет находиться целая куча лазерных лучей.
And they say to our independent candidates, you know, you've been supported less than him. These are different enemies, dark forces that harm us. Pot is spoke in the wheels as example, but, against the background of the fact that all independent have been kicked out from the elections. This really collected the signatures, the majority of Moscow and completely counterfeit signatures registered such candidates' backs. Do you see this beautiful man? How beautifully he laid stones in his stomach. Don't you recognize him? This politician is more popular than Sobol, Yashin or Gudkov. Because they couldn't collect signatures. Previously convicted Trofimov, who works as a calculator. I'm not joking, his position called as calculator. He is now a registered candidate. He will participate in the elections. He collected signatures, but Sabin invaded thieves, stares us in the face and says, yeah, this is fair elections. Will calculator participate in them? Sabin says, you and all of your independent candidates get out. You have no right, you're second-class people. And really will become second-class people if you want to anything. This will go on forever and things will get much worse. Until we learn to take to the streets in sufficient numbers and stay here as much as we need. I would not like to hold a rally, but what else to do in this situation? We have nominated candidates, they have a program, they have support. They collect the signatures, but they were told to fuck off. Leave a free place to the United Russia. What else do we have to do? The only way to go to the rally. Just have a look. In recent years, this government surrendered its position, not only because of the rallies. I'm still not in jail for a fabricated case, because in 2013, people went to the rallies for me, and I've got freedom. In Yekaterinburg, people defended their right to have a square instead of a church because of the rallies, and they weren't afraid of arrests. Journalist Golunov planted drugs, but he was released as soon as everyone said, we will go to the streets without any permission. The government perfectly understands that many of us, for us tens of millions, what about you? They have police, special police, but they're on our side too, in secret. The only reason they defend Putin and his party because we have not enough people. If there will be 500,000 on the streets, all of these policemen, first of all, they will run to the dacha of the Zolotov, and they will destroy it on pieces.
Мы оказались незащищенными со стороны государства, которое охраняли на протяжении многих лет.
We have to participate in all rallies. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, as much as it takes. The next big action will be on July 20 on Sakharov Avenue.
20 июля в 14 часов на проспекте Сахарова.
And it has been agreed, although it seems to me that everyone already doesn't care about the agreement. I urge everyone who doesn't consider himself a second-class person to come there and support the candidates. But, in addition, we now have the task of retribution to United Russia. That's why we created the smart wording, but haven't think that they will take all of them off. But we have to show, now that the principled position of each person voting against United Russia for any candidate, even bad, even leftist. If you can show our position, we are choosing the right candidate. Our position will be the removal of candidates from power. We will use the elections to destroy power, and also directing crowds of people to electoral commissions, just to revenge to the government for humiliations, taking away from them the Putin mandates. I wait from you that you will show diligence in fiction, and every day will think, what can I do bad today to the United Russia to revenge them? For they're thinking of me as a second-class person. Register now in the smart voting and bring your friends there. If you live in Moscow, then come to Sakharov Avenue on 20th of July. Take all the entries for independent candidates. They were not allowed to elections illegally, and the government should be responsible for this. Subscribe to our channel, we are telling the truth.